Bienvenidos, a lifestyle of smiles, the exhilarating YouTube journey of a daring American father who's made the leap to start anew in the Dominican Republic. Dive into a world where cultures collide as he explores the rhythm of island life, learns the language, aprendiendo español, and embraces the thrilling dating scene. From the lively calles of Santo Domingo to the tranquil playas, every episode is an adventure. Join Dia for fiestas, sabrosa, comida, and genuine insight into parenting and Benito's, welcome back. Thank you for checking back in with me today. Today's Valentine's Day, and I'm just doing some riding around, about to go see a couple things and go grab me a couple cigars, just so I can go chill out a little bit later on. And you about to see what's going down. We're gonna go to the Colonial Zone. I'm gonna show y'all around a little bit. As you can see, I'm on the back of this moto now, and I will say that it isn't the safest way of transportation here, but it is the cheapest and the fastest way to get around the city, well, to get around the island. And then right now, where I'm passing through, this is Mirade Sur, and that's just a very nice area that they have a lot of big towers, and you can get an apartment where you can look out and see the ocean and everything. Now, and I will say that it is very expensive to live on this strip by the park, and that's because this is a well sought after area. The park is a big gathering spot for a lot of events and stuff that go on, especially with families and stuff. So you know it's going to be a lot higher. And if you meet anybody who lives in this area, it's a guarantee they got a good amount of money, because a one bedroom studio is starting out at $1,300 minimum, and that's unfurnished without utilities or anything. That's just a basic apartment how you would get in the United States for 1,300. That's almost like what I had back in the United States, and that's one of the reasons why I moved here. Because I was like, well, I don't want to keep spending a crazy amount of money just to have somewhere to live, and I'm not having any type of amenities. But if you got some money to splurge on, this is the area you want to live in. You're going to meet a lot of different people over here who come from well-off backgrounds and from well-off families and different things like that. So you got you some money, this is the area you want to be in. Just a quick side note, as you can tell, these moto drivers are flying in and out of traffic. So you want to keep them elbows tucked, and you want to be able to make sure you paying attention and seeing to your left, your right, and ahead of you, because a lot of times the moto drivers, it's not like they can look, so far in front of them to be able to look out for certain things. They kind of really got to be looking just literally in the very front of the moto because they're going in and out of traffic so fast. So if you know a little bit of Spanish, you can actually tell the moto driver like, hey, you know, watch out for this, watch out for that, and that way they can pretty much get you there a little bit more safer than if they was to roll up on a pothole and don't see it and hit it and you fall off the back of it. Now, if you watch this and you peep game, you're gonna see how the driving really be going on in the city. To my left, you're gonna see a Range Rover shoot right past us, going as fast as he possibly can. Now, a lot of people drive like this in the Dominican Republic, and it's a natural way of driving. Like in the United States, we would consider it aggressive and erratic driving, but that's just how they do here. So if you're not used to defensive driving every step of the way when you drive, then this is not the place that you want to ride a moto. This is not a place that you want to drive a car because, as you can see, that car shot right past us, and actually, they were so close to us that we felt the wind push us a little bit over to the right. You know how a car comes past and you'll feel that force and it kind of push you back a little bit. That's what it did to the bike, and we was already in full motion. Yeah, another thing. People come to complete stops in the middle of the street at any given time. And we almost ran into the back of this white car, and people will just walk across the street, and it's ridiculous, to say the least. But you really do need to be paying attention. If you're gonna be coming over here for just a short time or even a long time, you need to make sure you have you some type of insurance that can cover you when you get here because any and everything happens on these Dominican streets, highways, and roads. And if anything so happens to you, you want to make sure you have some insurance that can cover you for if you got to go to the hospital and you're hurt or anything like that, because this is not a place where you can show up and go to the hospital and get free care. You have to have some type of insurance, or you better have all the money to be able to afford to pay for whatever it is that you need to get done because they will turn you away. And there's a lot of private clinics and hospitals here that, they function that way. So do not come here thinking like if I get hurt, I'm gonna just go to emergency room, they're gonna patch me up. Nah, 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 it don't work that way. You're gonna have to have some type of money and insurance to make sure you good. Oh shoot, look who it is. Little buddy in the Range Rover. Driving like he ain't got no care in the world. Still driving crazy. But like I said, that's how they drive. And we about to slide right past them, cut them off, and turn right. Hey, this is just how they drive here, man. And I know you're looking at the video like, man, this moto drivers all over the place, but that's just how they do. Once you are here long enough, you kind of really get used to how things go when it comes to riding around and getting around safely. But it is something that you do need to be very mindful of. I do suggest that if you can afford to make sure you buy you a helmet, make sure you have on boots when you do jump in and off of motos. Now I know, walking around the DR with boots on is gonna be hot and off the chain, but a lot of the expats that I do know who do get on and off the motos periodically, they do have a helmet that they bought, and they do have some boots that they put on their feet just in case anything does happen. You want to be safe. We have just now entered the residential area of Zona Colonial. I do like this area a lot because of the older structures and the beautiful buildings. Now, I'm not going to ever suggest that anybody ever moves to this area, and the only reason why is because it's filled with a lot of expats and tourists, and things in the Zona Colonial area tend to be higher when it comes to like services and groceries, just because there's a higher concentration of tourists that are always there. But if you're the type that's like, hey, I don't mind spending a little bit of extra, I don't, I'm not really going to do too much to learn the language or culture, then the Zona Colonial area is really your safe haven, because anywhere outside of the Zona Colonial area, you're really not going to meet too many other tourists, and you're not going to meet too many people who can speak English. So if you're an older person, you just like, man, I just want to move somewhere where I can just, sit down, relax, have me a good time, and be around people, other expats and stuff like that, the Zona Colonial might be your area to move to. And in fact, you're the only type of person that I would suggest to move to that area. If you're the type of person who's like, man, I'm just here for a good time, and I'm not worried about doing anything else, then Zona Colonial area is where you would want to be at. Right now in the city, they're doing a lot of construction all over the place, but especially in the Zona Colonial area, they're trying to put up more buildings and apartment structures so that they can pull in more tourists and more residents to come down to that area. And so the traffic is very backed up because of all the construction, but it's typically not this bad. You usually can shoot down there and shoot back depending on what time of day it is, and that's what I was planning on doing because it's Valentine's Day, and I had a few other things that I wanted to do. And oh yeah, there's plenty of police officers in this area. So if you are a single traveler, or a single woman, and you're just coming here to visit and stuff, the Zona Colonial is pretty safe. They have a lot of police officers all over the place, and if you need help or you need assistance, they are there to make sure that you'll be okay. But there is always a chance of things happening randomly. Like if you have your cell phone out and you just walking in the street and you're, talking on it or something, there's always a chance that somebody could ride past on a moto, grab your phone, and keep driving. Those type of things happen all the time. They even happen to the Dominicans and Haitians. It's not something that is geared towards tourists is just a crime of opportunity. That's all that it is. So always, be having your wits about yourself, and not saying that you got to really look behind your back every 5 steps, but as you see me walking through, you're gonna, occasionally see me turn around, look back and forth just to make sure, there's nothing really going on, because I always say make sure you're aware of your surroundings and make sure you protect yourself at all times. I know you're in a foreign country and you don't know too much about anything and you may not know the language or culture, but you still need to be aware of what's going on and what is around you at all times. Don't be out here just obliviously walking around, not knowing what this is, not knowing what that is, and you're just a hot topic. I mean, you're a hot target at that point. Now, this is the hub of Zona Colonial Parque Cologne. They have the oldest church right here to my right that I had just looked at. And this is like the hub of where all the tourists come, all the expats come. They kind of just sit on these benches and hang out. People come here and perform. They sing. You have street performers come here, models come here, and they do pictures. They have Easter celebrations, Christmas celebrations. Anytime there is any type of event going on the island, there will be something going on right here on the Conde, right here at Parque Cologne. Load 'em. Lord Jesus. Mm-hmm. So a quick side note for my homies and homettes, you can come down here and do more than just have a cigar. You can come down here and you can get you some good food. You can have you some drinks. You can have juices. This is a very good family spot as well. Or you can just come down here, find you a place to sit and just people watch. If you want to run into somebody you may or may not like, this is the spot where a lot of expats and tourists come at just to have them a nice good time. And then, like I said, when you look around in the video, you'll start seeing a whole bunch of the police officers just hanging around to make sure nothing's going on, and they're really there to make sure they keep the peace and nothing happens to anybody and stuff like that. So you don't have to too much worry about coming down here and something going on with you. You can just come here and relax. And if you are a part of the LGBTQ community, then this is the place for you to be. You can come here and no judgment zone. Nobody's worried about you. Nobody's looking at you side eyed like, oh my God, what are they doing? This is a conservative country, but they are very tolerant of people's lifestyles. As long as you're not imposing it on somebody else, or you're doing something vulgar in public, no one's worried about you or even looking your way. You can come down here and you can, meet you somebody. You can meet you a guy, you can meet you a girl, whatever your flavor for the day. They got plenty of it. Y'all peep my man's out there singing his heart out on the side for them tourists and other audience members that are right here at these lounges and cafes to my right. Like I was telling y'all before, people come here and they perform. They have bands that come out here and they just perform in the park. They have artists that come out here and they will draw pictures and paintings of you. And they have photographers who come out here as well. Like if you want professional photos, and all of these different vendors and people, it's not like they only come on one day. They come every day. This is their business. This is their job. They're what you would call just like they're like free source vendors, and everything from taking pictures, painting, music, tour guides. Now you do got to be a little bit, you know, you're gonna have to haggle some prices with some of the tour guides that are out there, because they're gonna always give you the higher price than what they would if you were a Dominican or Haitian or something like that. So before you pick just the first guy that you see that's hanging out, right there by the statues and stuff, and they're like, hey, I can take you here, I can show you around. Make sure you ask, how much is this, how much is that, and what sort of things they're going to show you, and pretty much if they can be able to assist you around in that area, because sometimes it might just be walking you around Parque Cologne. It might just be walking you up to Conde, but you might want to actually go and walk around the whole area. So you need to ask that person, are they going to be able to do that before you agree? Because once they take you and they're walking you around and it comes to the end, you got to make sure that you have the right amount of money to pay them. Because if you don't, the police is right there, and there's going to be some issues like, hey, I toured them around and now they're not trying to pay me. That can be a problem on your end. So make sure you ask them how much it's really going to cost for them to take you around the area and show you, some of the hot spots to go to. in some of the historical places. It's that time for me to go on and get up out this area. Now, the traffic is really bad on this day. I was actually very surprised that the traffic was this bad, but when I found out that they were throwing some events right here at the church around the time that I got there, I was like, okay, it definitely makes a lot of sense why people are kind of, looking for a lot of parking and there's people stopping randomly and, it's a little bit chaotic right now at this time, but I'm on my way leaving up out of here trying to get back to the crib so I can go on and get this Valentine's Day started. One thing that there is worth noting is that you have to remember most cities, and this is the Santo Domingo included, almost every major road connects. And if you're in Zona Colonial, there's two main roads that can take you all the way from Zona Colonial straight out to Oeste. And the road that we on now is the main road that connects to Zona Colonial. There's two one ways, one going to it and one going away from Zona Colonial area. Both of these roads are interconnected. So if you ever feel like you don't have your bearings, or you're a little bit lost and you're not sure where to go, just remember, if you need to get back to Zona Colonial area, there's two main roads that you can travel down, and you'll be fine. You'll find your way back to where you need to be at. So peep game, whoever put out there that the Dominican Republic is a poor country, is a really developing third world country, they lied. Cause look at all these different luxury car lots out here. As you watch the videos that are being dropped every week, you're going to see more and more luxury and more expensive things that regular people in the States don't have. And they have it right here all day long. This place is full of money and full of opportunity. As long as you come with the right mindset and you come with the right tools and enough resources, you can make it here as a business owner. You can make it here as a citizen. You don't have too much to really worry about as long as you, like I said, you're on your P's and Q's and you keeping your nose clean and you're not in situations dealing with the wrong crowd.
Ah! Fuck! Back up! Back up! Ah! Fuck! Shit! Go ahead. Yeah. Fuck! Yeah.
Now, look, excuse the language, but this is the first time this done happened to me. Dude done ran on top of my foot and came to a complete stop, and I didn't even notice that he had ran on top of my foot until I go to pull my foot up so the moto driver can keep going, and I couldn't move my foot. Now, at the time, I was irritated, so I really didn't feel no pain, and I had a lot of adrenaline going. And I was just really trying to get to my destination and everything. But a lot of the individuals who had seen it happen, you can't tell because I didn't get them stopping and asking me what's going on. But this lady, she pulls up, she's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" Pretty much, you good. And then the moto driver, he wanted to drop me off at the hospital, but I was like, "Nah, I need to go straight to the crib real quick because they done messed up the boats, and I'm gonna go over to my doctor and see what they talking about." If I didn't mention this before, make sure if you're here for a short time, get you some traveler's insurance. If you're going to be here for a long time, go get you an insurance plan that will cover you in the Dominican Republic, because these things happen all the time to people randomly. And when accidents happen and accidents occur, if it's somebody who doesn't have insurance or, somebody that just don't stop, the police ain't coming out unless you on the ground and you about dying. I'm just, keep it all the way 100 with you. They not really coming out to car accidents. They send ambulance and stuff like that out. But like I said, if you don't have any insurance, you're gonna have you some issues. Now, at the moment, I'm not really feeling no pain. I don't even think anything's broken. But I'm about to just shoot back to the west so I can go, jump in the shower, change up, so I can go holler at my doctor about the situation and have them check me out real quick. But make sure you get you some insurance just to be on the safe side because, as you can see, it just happened to me, and that hasn't even happened before. As you can see, I ain't on the back of a moto. I done jumped in the car this time just to go over and go see what's going on with my doctor and let them see what's up and kind of let them know a little bit what's going on. That way they can check it out. You want to always make sure that you keep your health up to par. No matter where you living at, no matter what you're doing in this world, you want to make sure your health is always there, and you want to make sure that physically you're fine. Because I like walking around, I like being able to, get out the house and being very mobile. And I don't want to be sitting around one day and wake up and my foot's extremely swollen. I can't step. I can't put my foot into my shoe and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go get it checked out, and I'll be right back with you.
Okay. Ah, te vas. Sí. Ani, le di tus 5 por dale, está abierto. Ábrelo. Abre la puerta.
So for whatever reason, my Uber driver, even though I gave him clear instructions where to go at, he got it on his maps. He still went the wrong way and had me mixed up in all this traffic. and I had to walk across this street. Now, whenever you got to walk across this street, you need to keep one thing in mind. This is not the United States. Nobody's going to stop for you. You do not have the right of way. And if you in the way, you will be pushed out the way. Hopefully you don't get hit or ran over. So when you're going across some streets, make sure you are moving with some type of urgency and you are paying attention of the flow of traffic, because you've seen me on the back of those motos, and those motos don't stop. They swerve in and out of traffic. They jump on and off of sidewalks. Be careful. Make sure that you are paying attention, and make sure you are paying attention where you walk at, because you can see in the video that they have trenches on the end of the sidewalks so that it can help with the irrigation when it's storming real bad and there's a lot of water flow, because this is an island and there is a flooding problem throughout the whole country. So make sure you're paying attention to where you're going and where you're walking. You want to live to see another day. You don't want to end up getting hurt in the middle of traffic and it messes up your vacation, or you just move her and you break your ankle because you stepped down in the trench and you wasn't paying attention. That actually almost happened to me my first day here, because I didn't realize their irrigation system was built a certain type of way until, I was out walking and going around and I actually tripped over it. And I was like, hold on, what's going on? And they was like, man, that's the water system. You gotta, make sure you pay attention to that. Estoy abajo. Sí. Okay. Okay. Vámonos. ¿Por qué? Ah, que tú, ¿verdad?
¿Usted va para Paco? Sí, mira, y ellos van para allá también. Me dice nada, yo estoy buscando el paciente allá afuera.
Oh, sí. guess the Uber driver doesn't know Santo Domingo as well as I know it. I don't know. The doctor. No, I'm talking about Dr. Mello. Yeah, see if she can look at my foot. I got my foot ran over today. Yeah, by a car. It's long. About an hour ago, maybe 30 minutes ago. See, I like my doctor's office. It's a private clinic. It's real plush. If you have you some good insurance, you can find you a good private doctor and a private clinic that can tend to all your needs. And a lot of them, depending on what type of insurance you have, I have Humano, and it covers up 90 to 100% of all of my consultations and copays and stuff like that. So I don't have to really worry about spending any type of money. They will also send you an Uber, or they will refund you your money on the spot for how much it costs for you to get there. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But it's all good though. I got it. I got Humano Cur. So if I gotta go get it checked out, it's all good. It's going down. That's why I said it's been a long day. Whew. No, I'm gonna go over it. It's all good. I just wanted to check it out because my foot, I don't think nothing's broken, but it felt wet and stuff. So I was gonna have a look at it. It's all good though. It's all good. I didn't even know he had landed on my foot because I tried to take off and I couldn't move my leg. That's why I knew if he was on top of my foot, you know. I got it all on film. I was just riding along on the moto, and the moto in front fell over, and I just put my foot out, and he just stopped. But it was a lot of traffic on. I was coming from the zona colonial, so it was a lot of, I guess, people shopping, and I didn't even realize it was Valentine's Day until I got a text from Wellvet. So I was like, for real. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know what was going on when I seen the text. I was like, Valentine's Day. It's all good. Man, I didn't know it was a big thing down here. They got some type of, I'm not sure what it is, but it's like some event going on at the church and everything, and
it is because
what's up? Catholic. No. Ash. No, I just seen. Well, I've seen it before because I know a lot of the veterans celebrate it, but I just seen a whole bunch of police officers, and they was in like they dress uniforms and stuff down there. So I was like, I didn't know what was going on at the churches. That's all good. Oof. Man, I'm gonna have to go get me a pair of boots to protect my feet. Seriously, because this not the first time I've been hit by a car on a moto. First time I was leaving Enrique, and I was going through an intersection, and the car just didn't stop, and he hit the back of the moto, and I came off of it. He just didn't stop. So that's why I was like, I'm probably gonna give me some boots or something, protect my feet, and probably get a jacket, But it's alright though. It's the fastest transportation, but it's not the safest. But I use the metro sometimes. I started using the metro, but I usually use it on like the weekends. So, Peep, I understand that, the situation I was just in is really not a laughing matter, but I'm the type of person I can laugh at my pain and I can laugh at myself and, stay up in good spirits. Even when I was talking to my host and we had another conversation after this, and she was like, you sure you're okay? You're laughing and stuff and you seem up in spirits, but how you thinking mentally? You all right? I'm like, yeah, man, it's all good, man. I done been through a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it all comes from experience and travel. You gotta just still put yourself out there. I'd have been in car wrecks, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop driving cars. You know what I mean? Just always be aware of your safety at all times. That's all I'm trying to get at.
New York, yeah. New York, man, they people things happen to people up there all the time.
So I handled my business, went and got checked out. They looked at my foot, ordered up my x-rays. They sent me to a podiatrist and different things like that. So as far as I know, everything's cool for right now. I'm gonna check back in with them in a couple of days if anything does come up. But like I said before, I'll be 30 at the end of this year, and my body can still take some damage. Still go through a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I'll still be fine. I haven't really reached the age where if I get hurt, I'm permanently hurt. You know what I mean? But thank you for checking in and peeping me on this new episode. Please be looking forward to the next one where I can go into more detail with my everyday life. Thank you.